Reselling in retirement is our side hustle. Do you have a side hustle? There's low value junk and junk that has value. Well, let's define junk, shall we? If you're new here, welcome to our channel. I'm Vicki, and my husband Mark and I are retired resellers. Not retired from reselling, but retired from other things that we've done in our lifetime. And we resell on eBay, sometimes Poshmark, but predominantly eBay. And I put this video together to address something that has been the buzz lately in the YouTuber reseller realm. You see, I'm picking up on something that I've heard several times now. And it basically goes like this. Don't buy junk. Don't buy junk. Well, let's see here. Do we buy and resell junk to supplement our retirement? Is that part of what we do? Believe it or not, it is. It is part of our side hustle to resell junk. But how do you define junk really now? One person's junk is another person's treasure. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. It's a what sold video combined with how I packed it video, combined with going to Goodwill and finding some junk, what Mark and I find to be true junk, things that we don't buy to resell. Now, why is that important to include that in this video? Well, let me tell you, there are different levels of junk. There's low value junk and junk that has value. So by taking you to Goodwill with us today, we're going to show you some of the things that we eliminate right out of the gate. Because the less time you spend on the low value junk, the more time you free up to find the higher value junk so that you can research eBay sold comps, active listings versus sold comps, find out which ones have the best sell-through rate. 50% is always great, but rarely found. But do know that some junk sells and there's no comps at all, like with the first item I'm going to show you in this video. Before we get started on talking about junk, buying junk, reselling junk as our side hustle, I'm going to tell you another reason that I decided to make this video, besides just seeing other resellers say, don't buy junk. That was the first reason to make this video, but this is the second reason I'm making this video, because I assume most of you watching this video are retired or nearing retirement, and maybe you, like me, once in a while, invest in something. Like a year ago, well, 11 months ago, I bought a CD at our credit union. It was an 11-month CD, and I took out the CD for $2,500 at 5% interest. So how much did I make over the 11 months with my 5% interest CD? I made $114.35. Is that a woohoo? Well, not really, because we make more profit on reselling junk as our side hustle than we do investing in a CD. Crazy, right? I mean, 5% is better than a regular savings account or even a checking account, but you can make some money reselling. You can. And sometimes, like I'm going to show you in this video, you can make really good profit, more than 5%, selling junk. Let's just say in this video, I'm getting on my junk box. Not my soapbox, my junk box. I am not going to dispute other reseller YouTubers saying, buy better stuff. But when they say don't buy junk, well, let's define junk, shall we? Let's go to Google and see how junk is defined. The informal definition is old or discarded articles that are considered useless or of little value. The cellars are full of junk, or the attics, or the garage, or spare bedroom. Other ways to define junk is useless things, discarded things, clutter, stuff, odds and ends. Discard or abandon unceremoniously. Sort out what could be sold off and junk the rest.
Throw away, throw it out, discard. Get rid of it, dispose of, scrap it.
Toss it out. Toss it out. Get rid of the junk. There's a lot of ways to look at that. When we no longer want something, what do? We go through it. We might toss some of it out, put it in the trash. But I don't know if you're like us, but most of it goes to a thrift store. The Restore, Goodwill, Salvation Army, local charities. We donate it. That's what thrift stores are for. People donate the things that they no longer want. Does that mean it's junk since they no longer want it, since they're willing to toss it out, since they're willing to get rid of it? I think you can safely call our donations junk because it no longer has value to the person who had it in the first place. So we get rid of our junk. After that, the thrift store goes through it. They sort through the junk and they make a decision. For instance, Goodwill pulls the best of the donated junk to sell on their own website, whether it's on eBay or their own .org website. Many thrift stores do that. Even our Restore does that. Do you know that some Restores have eBay stores? They do. So it goes to Goodwill. They sort through it. They pull the good stuff. And what happens to the rest of the junk? It goes out on the sales floor. So the low value junk goes out on the sales floor, and regular shoppers go through it and resellers go through it, and we're trying to find the best of the low value junk to resell to make a profit. That's how it works. And the process just repeats itself. Junk comes in, junk gets sorted, junk goes out on the sales floor. We buy it. Eventually, if it doesn't sell, we donate it back, and the cycle continues. We keep it out of the landfills, right? Have you seen those videos where some of the clothing ends up in third world countries and they have trash piles of clothing? I'm sorry, I digress. We're not going there today, but there are videos out there that you could find to watch. By the true definition of junk, meaning something that someone else didn't want, that they discarded or donated or got rid of, well, every single reseller that sells anything that is used is selling junk. So please, let's stop with this. Don't buy junk. We all buy junk. Is there good junk and not so good junk? Sure. Sure there is. And remember, we have the ability on eBay to look at sold comps, sold listings, like the one that we're researching, and sort it by lowest to highest and highest to lowest, and make a decision based upon the active listings, how many are listed, versus how many are sold. If you have 100 listed and 50 sold, that's a 50% sell-through rate. You sort it by highest to lowest, that gives you the high end of what's sold. You can sort it by lowest to highest, that gives you the low end that's sold, and you make a decision on how you want to price your item. We tend to price on the higher side so that we can set sales or send offers. Everyone runs their store differently, but that's how we do it. We are also long-term sellers, meaning we're not trying to flip things in 90 days. If you are new to reselling, I know that you've heard the buzz about buying clothing and shoes and name brand this and name brand that and trying to sell it within 30, 60, or 90 days. That's in the perfect world. But some of us don't live in big cities where we have lots of great thrift stores where we can find all kinds of goods to resell. In fact, if you're new, I suggest you start reselling from what you already have in your home. And as you can see behind me here, we saw a lot of glassware and pottery and ceramics and wood and brass and all that other good stuff. It's over on some other shelves. Those of you who follow our channel know that we resell all kinds of things. And I think most of you would probably not call it junk. But it has been donated. Somebody else let go of it. So maybe we should just change the name of Goodwill to Good Junk. But it's not always good. Reselling for Mark and me is extra income. It is our side hustle. But let's take the word hustle lightly, because we don't want to work as hard as we did in our 20s. No, we don't. Or our 30s, or our 40s, not even our 50s, okay? Let's face it. We're not trying to build a humongous business here with our reselling. Our channel is about reselling for extra income. As I said, it's our side hustle. And some days we hustle more than other days, but for the most part, we do it for fun. We do it for extra money. We do it to pay those co-pays and car repairs and all that other good stuff that I've talked about. In fact, I'm going to link at the bottom of here at the end of this video, a video that I highly recommend about reselling and retirement, because we share the good, bad, and indifferent about reselling. But for the sake of this video, we're talking about junk, finding junk, buying junk, low value junk, better value junk, and I'm going to show you some of the junk that we've sold And I'm going to break it down this time like I've never broken it down before. I'm going to show you exactly how much profit we made. Exactly. I'm going to show you what it sold for, minus the fees, minus the cost of goods, minus shipping, and I'm going to show you the exact profit of what we made on each of the items that I'm showing you in this video. I know this was a long intro, but I tell you what, I just had to get it off my chest because many resellers would say, Vicki and Mark, you sell junk. Well, maybe we do. What's it to you? Because we make good profit on this so-called junk. And don't forget, if you're selling used items, you sell junk too. And there's no harm in that. No harm at all. But there is low-value junk and better junk to be found. This first item is something that I've never seen before. I don't expect to ever see it again. And guess what? There were zero sold comps for it on eBay. Why did we buy it? Because I believed it did have value and we would sell it eventually. We're not paying rent for a storage unit. We have enough room here for our stuff. We have a garage, we have shelving. I think you do need to consider how much room you have to store things and how long you're willing to wait. And we have a plan if it's all left over years down the road. And that's another video you could watch about my own estate sale, what the plan is. There's another good video to watch. And remember, I'm going to show you how I packed it. Maybe not in great detail, but how I packed it. And we're going to pop in and out of Goodwill and look at some things that Mark and I truly call junk to help you save time by not paying much attention to these items. For personal use, for personal decor, it's all perfectly fine. But what we're going to show you when we stop in Goodwill is things that are not good, at least from our opinion, our own opinion, not good for resale. But anyway, the first item I'm showing you, there were no eBay sold comps. Is it going to be worth the wait? Coming the night before from 6 to 8 for $5 a person? We'll find out. We sold a brass candle holder.
It says it's Sudbury Brass Goods Company.
It's got a white candle in it now.
And it looks like the spring pushes the candle up as it burns. This one says all blue, but oh,
it is blue.
it's got a blue sleeve on
I wonder if
one.
this has a sleeve in it.
Okay, there's a blue sleeve. Okay, yeah, they're
A blue sleeve with
blue
it.
sleeves.
Okay. I remember researching them when we bought it, but I can't remember what they're worth. An altar candlestick. I could not find any comps for it, and I paid $1.50 for it. It's quite heavy, and it sold for $89.39 plus shipping, so it came to $107.49. I just barely got it to fit in this eBay box, and I was able to fit a little bit of cardboard on each end to help reduce impact. And then I'm just laying some air pillows across the top. And then I'll fill in on the top if I need to. And it's resting on air pillows on the bottom, so I think I'm good. Let's see if we can find some good junk in the good junk store. Is it good junk? Sometimes. Sure. Let's put this in here. Thank you. We're going to point out some things that we wouldn't buy because it's the lowest end of the junk. Oh, Mark is pointing to the moose that's been here for a while. That's funny. So why is that junk?
Because nobody wants to buy them.
Even at $4.99. Thank you. The next item was completely free. How is that? Well, we inherited some things when Mark's dad passed away, and some of it was just regular household things. We held on to it, we didn't use it, and one day we just pulled it out and listed it on eBay. The oddest things have been selling this week, like these Swiffer boxes. Texture 3D 32 disposable cloths, 16 here and 16 there. Very very strange sales we're having. Anyway, we're glad that they sold 64 count Swifter disposable dry sweeping cloths, and they sold for full asking price. Woohoo! We'll take it. $29.95 plus ship. Nice and easy to pack. I'm just using an eBay box and adding air pillows so that it doesn't crush, and they're good to go. While this may not be exactly junk, we don't buy things that are nearly impossible to ship. It's $3.99, fine for yourself, but not to resell. Ordinary junk. If you ever get the opportunity to fill a box or fill a bag or fill a cart for $20, go for it. But at the same time, remember, it takes the same amount of time to list that low value item as it does for a little higher value item. So you might want to be a little bit careful about what you put into your basket or cart for $20. We didn't end up listing everything that we brought home from this sale, but we sold some of the things we brought home right away. And we paid off the $20 in no time. Entrance. It's busy, like flies on sugar. So we'll see what we can see. Okay, we spent $20 to our everything that you see here. I'm sure we'll get our $20 back, don't you think, hon?
More than likely.
Yeah. We got some new things. This bun decanter, originally $5. This bun 10-cup replacement coffee pot decanter paid 83 cents at an estate sale, and it sold for $19.95. My problem is I accidentally had free shipping on it. Wah, 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 wah. Oh well. It's my mistake. We gotta ship it. I'm using an eBay box. It's 12 by 10 by 8. I'll just put some bubble wrap in it and place the box inside. We stay away from signs because, you know, this is like a big Hobby Lobby thing, and these sign things have been around for a while, and for the most part we stay away from this kind of stuff. $1.99, $1.99, $1.99. I told you that we're long-term sellers. We basically are filling the pipeline on eBay, and it sells when it sells. I do end and sell similar to refresh the listings. We're not worried about how long it takes to sell something. Granted, I have been going through some things and getting rid of them because I know now that they're not worth holding on to. But this next item was found at a sale about 3 years ago, and it was the best church rummage sale that we've been to ever. They had a lot of inventory stored up. They did. And we went there early to go through it. Actually, we went there 4 times. We went to the sale 4 times. And we've sold many items from that sale, even though it was in storage for a while. Some of you know that. In boxes upstairs, we have sold several items. Huge sale. It's our second day here. This next item is pretty unusual, and it's right there. See if I can get it out without moving anything. All right, we got it. So what is this goofy thing? Well, it's a brass combination of brass and metal. It's a cherub. It's got some green felt. And it has these little hooks, which I advertised it as, let me show you here. It's made by A&M Leather Lines. Just from research, I found that out. A bracelet or ornament holder is what I called it. And it's sold on offer for $30 plus ship. And I paid only 50 cents for it at a church rummage sale. Love those church rummage sales. To pack it, I just really need to know the length. It's 11 inches. So since it's 11 inches, I grabbed a 12 by 6 by 6 box. And these are eBay boxes, so they're not costing me anything. I get them with my quarterly coupon. And if you haven't heard it by now, 12 by 6 by 6 is my favorite size to get. Start with 4 air pillows. Wrap it in some bubble wrap. I don't think it's going to fall out. 2 sheets of large 1/2-inch bubble wrap. I don't have much protection on the ends, so I'll take another sheet and cut it in half and tuck it down in each end as much as I can. Lift this up a little bit. You just want it full so that it can't move. Give it the shake test, and it's good. What do you got there?
I got a new sun hat.
Is that junk?
No, it's a hat.
It's a hat. And guess what? There's
2 of them.
2 of them. I could have one too. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Is this junk,
I think it's us.
or should we buy it?
It's junk and we should buy it.
Okay. Sometimes we buy a lot of something and we find something within that lot that surprisingly has more value than what we paid for the entire lot. $7.99 for this toolkit of Wilton icing tips, and it's got some other things in here too. Sold a Wilton fondant and gum paste mold. It's brand new and packaged. Bought it at a Goodwill in Bristol, paid 50 cents for it, and it's sold for full asking price of $24.95 plus ship. I'm going to back it with some cardboard that I will cut to fit because right now it's too large. Then wrap it in bubble wrap and mail it in a padded envelope, and I'll show you the end result in just a second here. I trimmed the cardboard for the sides and I scored it just a little bit so I could fold this up over to protect it a little bit, and now I'm just going to wrap it in bubble wrap. And I did turn it upside down. I have it in the padded envelope. You can see it's not going to take up the whole bag. So what I do is I lined it up to the left, and I cut a flap here. I cut this flap off to be even, and then I just fold it over and I just put tape on it. Just tape it and tape everything down. I have tape here, you know, tape on the ends, and we'll put the label on this side. When it comes to floral arrangements, I typically don't buy these for the floral arrangement. I buy these for the planter, and I ditch the flowers. So, and this one's just kind of cheap metal as it is. I would consider that junk. We like to resell small lamps, vintage lamps, glass lamps, but we bought one at the Restore, and some of the parts of it, the glass parts, were broken. They were chipped. And I suggested to Mark that we just part out this one metal piece. Even though we really weren't sure how to use it, we parted it out, listed it, and it sold. I love it when Mark questions some of the things that I keep to sell. This came off of a lamp that ended up being pretty much shot. We couldn't list the lamp, but I said, let's keep this part and list it. And you can see it's, you know, would hold. You can see it's just a in-between lamp part. Not really sure what it's for, but we listed it as ornate metal lamp part, silver tone, shiny, with the number that was on it. I guess you could say we have $1 into it. And it sold for $19.95 plus ship. They paid $28.10 for a lamp part that we could have easily thrown away or just donated. Trust your instincts. And I'm packing it with some bubble wrap, cardboard, some more large 1/2-inch bubble wrap, and putting it in a poly mailer. Air pillow, lamp part, air pillow, poly mailer. Packed and ready to go. We stay away from most puzzles in general, but absolutely stay away from puzzles that have been opened, because you'd have to take the time to assemble and or count every single piece. Just not worth the time and effort, so junk. Valentine plush. I guess there's a place for it, but we don't do much plush to begin with. But I've had some. Oh, this guy's over here.
And play in the grass.
Hey, it works. But for the most part, we stay away from plush unless you know what you're doing. sometimes it's the simplest of things that sell. You know, I do like to focus on brass and glass and pottery and wood, and this next item is a brass item. We've been to this sale before. It's an older couple who used to sell in the Hagel shop downtown Kingsport, and if you remember those Fenton perfume bottle stoppers that I had and sold, I think I might have one left, I'm not sure, but this is the same house. It's a neat trunk, 125. That's pretty too. Too big to ship these days. Still shopping the sale. Found this basket for $1 and 2 brass easels too. I'm gonna see if she'll do 2 for $3. I just listed this a day or so ago. It's already partially wrapped. It's 2 brass easels, and I paid about $2 for the 2. No name brand, just Victorian brass folding easel, and they sold on sale for $19.96 plus ship. Vintage figurine, broken, stained. Yeah, I would call this junk. How much are they asking for this? $3.99. Mark found this next item at our restore, and we've sold this type of item many, many times, and I bet you that you've come across it and you've passed it up. Either you didn't pay any attention to it or you saw that it was expired. Doesn't matter for some of these, but you do have to check your eBay sold comps. So I hear you found something.
Oh, I got a definite maybe here. ASA 400 25 exposure color film. They're more than likely expired. I can't see a date on them because they've got these 4 stapled
but it's
together.
It's 2 packs, or is it 4 packs?
There's 4 packs.
Okay, for $1. Sure.
For $1.
And you did say you looked up comps. You want to show me?
Yeah, the sell-through rate's really good. There were 16 active and 21 sold. Get down here to singles. Here's 16, 19.95, 15.99.
Go ahead and pick
each.
one and say sell one like this, and then we'll have it started. Make it easy to finish the listing. Great find.
Thank you.
This was a great find, and Mark found it at the Restore in Johnson City. It's 4 new packs of Kodak Avantix 400 25 exposure. Now it is expired actually. Has an expiration date on here somewhere. Well, I can't find the date while it's in this bag, but it is expired film. $4 for all 4 rolls. How much do you think they sold for? Well, we were asking $69.95, and we had 3 offers from a camera store company on eBay for $30. 3 offers at $30, which I kept countering at $60. But I ended up putting it on sale. Didn't sell to the camera company, nope, but it sold for $55.96. Yes, 4 rolls of expired film sold for $55.96 plus ship, total of $62.91. I don't know why they didn't pay sales tax. Maybe they have a tax exempt number. But anyway, that was a great find and a great sale. And I'm just going to wrap it in some bubble wrap and ship it in this eBay box, 6 by about 5 by 5 with some bubble wrap. Anything that's flash and scratches because the color is just coated. How much are they asking? $3.99. That's junk. Some art pottery is good, but this piece, sorry RW, but I would call this junk. Some other ceramic and pottery pieces that I wouldn't buy. It's got a little heart, and I guess it could be a brand name under there. Kind of doubting it. Yeah, I would not buy any of those. I would consider those low value junk. We went to a church rummage sale, and I don't always get clips of what we buy to resell. I try, so I'll pop on the screen what we found at this sale. Which way do we go? Mark, you knew where we go. Look at all the clothes. All the clothes. Let's go to hard goods. I didn't video a pack and ship for this either. We probably were in a hurry that day. Most plastic items are junk. $3.99. $3.99. $3.99. That's their go-to price for plastic junk. More plastic. $2.99. $2.99. Junk. You know, some of the things that I've shown you so far in this video did not have a brand name. Oh my gosh, how did you sell that with no brand name? Well, we do take a Google Lens photo of everything. We do research. But if we can't find something, we just do our best with it in listing it. Sometimes you can list it for whatever you want if there are no eBay sold comps. With that said, the next item does have a brand name, and it's a very odd size and shape. It was pretty big. We haven't been to the Restore for a long time, so I'm curious to see if they have anything. And if I don't find a whole lot, this will be part of a compilation of videos, you know, stops at the Restore. So let's see what we can find. I have this really odd thing here, but it says Coleman. And it's kind of a matte and case all in one. And they're gonna put $3 on it because I can't find the price on it. I'm gonna take a chance on it. This sale has been pre-packaged for a while. As you can see, I have a couple of eBay poly mailers on it to try to keep it as small as possible. It's a Coleman, I'll insert a photo, a Coleman carry-all mat for camping. It's good to go. I might put one more piece of tape here. I'm really surprised how many things they have out now compared to last Monday. You know how much it's changed over. A lot of metal things, even though we like brass, a lot of metal things are junk. I think this butter dish is junk. It's not even silver plate, it's just chrome. And this basket, $3.99. Junk. Junk. $3.99, Hobby Lobby. 3 of these, junk. Again, unless you're using it for yourself, $2.99. Who made these? Oh, that's Greenbrier. That's a Dollar Tree. Kind of cool, but I still wouldn't buy this. $3.99. Yeah, junk. This next item I showed you not too long ago in a video, and they were really, really small. Like really small. But they sold for $25. And I'm going to show you the profit that we made. This lot of 4 plates, and they have a really pretty design on them and beaded rim. 2004 4-count mini plate. Yes, mini. Paid $1 for all 4. And they sold on offer for $25 plus ship. I'm going to start with some foam wrap. And I use foam wrap quite a bit. And if you're interested, I have links in the description box below the video. So I'm going to cut this into 4 pieces. They're 12-inch squares. That's how it comes. And the roll is actually bigger than this. I've been using it for a while now. So let's just wrap each one with a little bit of protection. I'm going to use masking tape on here because it sticks better to the foam. It actually has on the back WD in 2002. They could be doll dishes or they could be salts, whatever you want to use them for. First layer of protection. Let's see what we can do with 1 sheet of small. I'm trying to avoid using a large box for these, so that's why I'm kind of going with the foam and the small bubble. I'm going to use an eBay box that's about 6 by 5 by 5. I've got 1 sheet of large 1/2-inch bubble wrap, so I might be able to put air pillows in the bottom, but we'll try this for now. And I think I'm going to put these in a bag. a little twisty. That way when they pull them out, they can just get all four at the same time. But thank you label. Okay, try this again. Let's just set it here and nest them down in, like so. Tucking in the bag. Going to see if 2 air pillows will fit. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, but at the same time I know that the bubble wrap in the bottom will give. Oh, the good old 1980s, the mauve and blue, country, cows, pigs, things, tables unlimited. I'd say most of this is junk. There's a few that's not, but most is. Punch bowl cups. I highly recommend you stay away from punch bowl cups. I've donated some because they just don't seem to sell. I'm sure you'll find sold comps, but I consider these now junk. Pretty though. I've already shown you this type of item, but this one we found at a garage sale. And I have to show it to you just to reinforce the idea that this can sell for decent money. Okay, I like angels, but these are resin and they feel really cheap. $2.99. $2.99. Now there's a lot of resin collectibles out there, but I would not buy these. I would consider these low value, and yes, sad to say, junk. That too. $2.99. Somebody must have donated their collection. I'd say that all of these cell phone cases, tons of them donated here, I would stay away from these. I would consider, that's a wallet of some kind, I would consider these junk as far as buying. You know, you can find these anywhere. They're asking about $1.99 each. Most milk glass doesn't have any value these days, so really check your sold comps on these because a lot of them could be considered junk because the market's flooded with them and they have little to no value. I'm no longer buying Santa's magical cookie plates or any kind of Christmas cookie plates and cups. Decor pieces that have lots of fragile areas that probably are broken. A lot of these are styrofoam and normally peeling. We've got broken pine cones. I stay away from a lot of these natural wreaths and florals. If you are considering reselling, start with what you have at home before you just run out and start spending money on things. The things that you have in your home already, you can use those to do the research. You can use Google Lens to snap a photo of it and do some research. A lot of times below that you'll see eBay listings. Go to that eBay listing, copy the title, and go to your eBay app and paste that title into the search bar. And then sort it. Sort it by sold and completed. Sort it by highest and lowest. Learn to do your research at home from what you have before you start going out and spending money on things in the thrift stores. If you go out blindly and just start buying up stuff, you probably will end up with a lot of low value junk. And I'm telling you, there's good value junk out there too in these same thrift stores. And something I do all the time, like that coffee carafe that's sold. If I have never seen something before, and I can identify the brand either from a box or research, I do that. I research the things I do not know. I don't spend time on the things that I already know are Dollar Tree or Dollar General or low value. I take my time and research what I don't know. And that's what I suggest for you and start at home. Reselling in retirement is a great side hustle. It is. But you have to learn what's low value junk versus better value junk versus, yes, there's high value junk out there too. But when it's all said and done, if it's used and it's been donated, thrown out, discarded, no longer wanted by the person that gave it up, well, it's junk. And I'm proud to stand here and say, Mark and I resell junk in our retirement. Thanks for watching. I'm Vicki with Avante Avenue, and Mark and I will see you soon.